So we're in the first month of 2025. We're in January right now. And let's say you got all these awesome health goals. Let's say you want to change your diet, maybe you want to kick drinking alcohol out of your life. And who do you want to rely to help you with these things? Your friends and your close family. But they might not always be the best supporters for your health kick. Why? I'm going to go through a couple different points in this video, but especially can be difficult if the people who are your friends and family are still doing the things that you're trying to kick. So, a couple different ways of why this is difficult to be around your family and your close friends that are doing the same things you're trying to kick is about five different points, right? The first one is the patterns, right? Your familiar patterns. So, like in your family, people know your like little cues and the way your triggers, so that if they feel uncomfortable about themselves because you're making progress, they can actually kind of jab at you. If you notice that in your family, it just happens. And if somebody knows exactly how to get you, they can. And your family can do it the best, to be honest, or worst, however you want to think about that. Number two is the shared history. When you're around your friends that you've known for a long time, they might know you as the guy who eats gas station food. They might know you as the girl who gets blacked out at the party. So they have that history where they can kind of like retell the stories and bring up those moments that can also not be so supportive, right? And then the third point is that unintentional influence, right? If all your friends go out to the bar and they all go out drinking, or if they all like to go to Taco Bell on Tuesdays for Taco Tuesdays, it could be an unintentional influence. They're doing the things that you're trying to get rid of, and it makes it even more difficult to get rid of it yourself. And point number three is the resistance to change, right? Because if somebody is part of your friend groups, like they don't want to change, and you're trying to spark this change, they can kind of like jab at you and say, "Oh, like you're no fun anymore. We used to go out to our favorite restaurants. We used to go out to Taco Bell. It was so great. Now you can't come with us." Or why are you making such a big deal? Like you're not that fat anyway. Like they can just keep on jabbing and jabbing and jabbing. Almost like it's not like they're trying to hurt you. It's just usually a reflection of how they see themselves, and they feel better as long as you feel like misery needs company kind of thing. And I'm not saying going to Taco Bell on Taco Tuesday is gonna create 100% misery, but down the line, if you keep on eating if you keep on having bad habits, and you're actually wanting to get better in your life, then it will improve your overall life in general. Um, point number four is the emotional connections that you have, right? Like, so maybe if it's like something you all do, like, oh, come out and drink with your friends. Like, oh, we always go out and we drink on Saturdays, right? This actually came up for me when I was new on my sober journey. I traveled around the whole United States for 6 months, and nobody really cared that I didn't drink because I decided to stop drinking. And they were just like, oh, I don't know him. He's just sober. Who cares? But then when I came back and visited my friends, they were like, oh, come to the bar. Oh, have a drink. There was the most pressure I've ever felt. And it was from that emotional connection because we've had those moments together and they wanted to recreate this. Right. So the same thing goes with, when I decided to go vegan. I went over to my dad's house and he usually cooks these beautiful steaks. And he was like, come on, have a steak with your dad. Like I cook the best steaks. And he does cook the best steaks, but I was like newly vegan, so it was really, really tough. But anywhere else, when I'm around my vegan friends, like it's not very difficult at all. So I know I just tell this whole why of why it's difficult to be around your friends and your family during this time of change. But like the next part is how do you handle this? Right. And I would say one of the biggest points is to be able to communicate your goals effectively, not just like, oh, well, I'm trying to stop drinking, or oh, I really am thinking about going vegan, or I'm thinking about going on a diet. No, you got to be like, listen, this is what I'm doing. This is why it's important to me. If I need support with this, if you do not give me support, then I can't be around you. And it really has to be like that. Like if you are not going to give me support, then I just can't handle that. Right. And that kind of comes with the second one, which is to set boundaries. And like if you say it, this person or people keep instigating or keep dagging at you or keep trying to convert you into doing the things you don't want to do, then you got to cut them out of your life. And you don't have to them out of your life completely, but at least for an extended period of time until they're ready to step it up, or they're ready to change, or they're ready to just stop trying to get you to do the things you're trying to stop, right? Or you are stopping, right? And then also, point number three of how to handle this is to seek external support. Like, if all of your friends do this thing, most of your family do this thing, you might need to find a different type of community that is into the same thing, that's in the same health thing you're into, right? And that will build a better structure. So you don't feel that pressure to do those habits that you want to kick, right? So definitely seek external support, whether it be friends, peers, family, that doesn't do this thing, or even a coach as well. And then number four is to lead by example. This one's huge because, from that experience that I told you about with one of my friends, like egging me on to drink, it was really difficult to say no. But then over time, like, they started to come around. Like, it wasn't like, it was almost like I was leading by being an example for them. And then there's a huge shift for the whole group to kind of like get in the health conscious community and to drink less and to see all the things that I was doing in my health and everything was going well for me, and they decided to change. So not only is it important for you to change in your health journey and to be able to set goals and to be able to follow through with them, but you can also be an example for your close friends and family. And for you just setting that boundary and saying, like, listen, you know what, like, I can't hang out with you anymore. It's just really difficult for me. That may be the change that other person needs to hear in order for them to change, right? Just by you setting your boundary. So to kind of summarize everything, yes, it is difficult when you're making a big change to be around your friends and family because they know you the most, or at least they're used to you doing the habit that you're trying to kick the most. So they're going to want to keep doing it with you, most likely. And if you are able to communicate and set clear boundaries, then you're able to separate from that. And if they are no longer going to be able to help support you, then you're going to have to go ahead and separate yourself from those people and build a support group that will propel you forward, because it's important. There's nothing more important than your health and your relationships, right? And if you have both those together, you can literally accomplish anything you ever need to. So thank you guys so much for being here. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, and if you have also seen this in your life where you try to make a big change and you didn't really get the support you wanted from your friends and family, comment it down below. And if you've found the opposite, that your parents and family and were really supportive of you, comment it down below. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, comment them down below, and feel free to reach out to every single one of you. Have a beautiful night. See you tomorrow.